So as the football world continues to be on a football lockdown, I thought I'd take a little look at what the state of football would look like in 10 years' time. But in this video, we're going to be taking a look at one team in particular, and that team is Wolverhampton Wanderers. That's right, folks. Today we're going to take a little look at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Where they're going to be in 10 years' time? Well, before that, we're going to remind ourselves as where are they right now? So, a quick familiar update with Wolves. Of course, they do play the games at Molineux, and Nuno Espirito Santo is their manager at the time of recording. They are rich, very, very rich. The media expect them to finish in 8th spot this season. So let's take a closer look at their players. And while that, before we do that, I'm going to just do quick clean of my glasses and have a closer look at it. Conor Coady is the captain. Ruben Neves vice captain. João Moutinho is the key player, with Morgan Gibbs White as their youngster in the prospects. So they've been a steady Eddie Championship side with, of course, a little bit of flirtation with the Premier League as well, starting with 2003-2004. They got themselves promoted via the playoffs, it looks like, straight back down with some more seasons back in the Championship. They eventually got themselves promoted again as champions of the division, stayed up there for a couple of seasons before plummeting back down all the way as far as League One. Did a bit of a Rovers, couple of seasons, and then shot back up, and they're now dizzy heights, finishing as high as 7th just last season. Quick look at the team itself. The most expensive player is Ruben Neves. He's only 22 years of age, so he should still be around in 10 years' time. But where would he play? I don't know. Same could be said for Diego Jota. Raul Jimenez, though, 28 years of age. He's a Mexican goal-scoring prodigy. He's just arrived. Actually arrived last season, scoring 13 goals as well for Rui Patricio. I doubt he'll be around, but you never know. Goalkeepers can play into the mid 40s if they're lucky. Willy Bolly probably won't be there, and Conor Coady should maybe still be around. João Moutinho will definitely not be around, 32 years of age. And you've got some other players as well. So some familiar names to remind yourself with: Leonardo Diodonta, and of course the one trick pony, Adam Traore, who's wanted by Manchester United. Where will he be? Well, you got 2 minutes to, well, not 2 minutes. You'll find out very, very soon. Stand by, hold tight, hold your glasses, hold your hats. We're going into the vortex. So here we are, boys and girls, into the future. It is 31st of May, 2029. Now, where are Wolves? Do you think they're still in the Premier League? Do you think they've remained there with their finances? I think so. I think usually a team like this, you know, a Burnley, a Crystal Palace, or Sheffield, I've been a bit hesitant, but I think Wolves should be a Premier League side. They had the money at the start. They have the money, it looks like now. They're in the Premier League, sitting 12th. I think Wolves fans will be content with that, with a steady Eddie progress over the past 10 seasons. Of the first season, they finished as high as 6th. They flirted around the top 10. Have a little wobbly season here, but now they're back on the rise. And again, finishing 12th last season, and it looks like they're finishing 12th this season. Simone Inzaghi is the main man as the gaffer. Ethan Empardu is the captain, with Faustin Ajorin the key player, Anderson Jones vice captain, and Robertson the hot prospect from Brazil. So let's have a look at the team then, shall we? Familiar faces. Well, here we go. So Ajorin is the main man. He's not a regen. He's valued at a cool £61 million. He has got 2 English international caps and 1 goal. He is wanted by Arsenal. They want a piece of the action. He's come through the ranks at Chelsea. They spent £41 million on him, and you're going to have to double your money, or at least get very close to doubling your money if you want to pry him away from these hands. He's been average, 6.91 average rated over the course of his career. Reece Nelson as well, another English youngster. Well, he's now 29 years of age. Again, Wolves stumping up the cash. They're spending big on Brits, £40 million as well. He's doing okay, not too shabby as well. Anderson Jones, he is a regen. Who else do we have? Ascanano is a Brazilian, 29 years of age, no caps though, a defensive midfielder, formerly of Sporting Gijón. You paid £21 million for him, formerly of Atletico Madrid as well, way back when. Any other familiar names? Luis Felipe, I'm not sure which Luis Felipe that is, formerly of Lazio. It's been at Wolves a fair few years. You got James Maddison, that's a bit of a pickup. Of course, Man United won him in the initial concept, but £21 million spent from Norwich. You then pick him up for £19.75 million. He's got himself 39 caps, 4 goals for England as well. Who else does he see? Harry Wilson, though, another young British player, 32 years of age now, 102 caps for Wales. Was sold by Liverpool for £16.25 million. Been a steady player, 6.97 average, not too shabby. He's got himself a few goals along the way. Trello, Jan Walters, who is a regen. We're going deep down here. Kenchi Ichinacho, 32 years of age, valued at 955. He's going to China. Is it money? Oh, it looks like it's a free transfer, I think. You got him for 15.5 million after a spell in Rangers. That's pretty crazy. That would have been a crazy few seasons for Rangers with Kenny Ichinacho up top. Any other ones that stand out for you? Jose Jimenez. Luis Felipe Ronaldo Figueira. He's formerly of Leeds. That's right. Goes to Sampdoria for a little bit. Back in England with Wolves. Okay, let's have a look at the managerial merry-go-round. How long did Nuno Espirito Santo stick around? Well, he stuck around for 4 years, getting himself sacked just shy of, or nearly close to the 5-year mark. Where is he now? Well, the ledge is actually unemployed. And what's happened to him since? Milestones. He then took over as Bournemouth manager, and then has been out of a job since 2026. So Nuno Espirito Santo. Marcelino came in for just shy of 3 years as well, picking up nothing. Gerard Martino, the former Barcelona man, came in for just over a year. Alexei Mikhailichenko came in as well for just over a year. Julian Stefan, just shy of a year. Albalado, just shy of a year. And Simone Inzaghi coming in for 200 days or thereabouts. Nuno Espirito Santo got promoted. That's pretty much it. So to go at your transfers then over the course of the past 10 seasons. Don't look at these. Shut your eyes and away we go. You bring in, or you loan out Dadasov to Southend, who's Azerbaijani international. I don't know, whatever that is. Azuri, whatever it is. He's still in the game. He's valued at £11.25 million. You picked him up for free or an undisclosed fee. Sold him to Sunderland, who then cash in on him for £9.75 million. No other major business going out anyway. Big time coming in, £17.25 million for a Portuguese fella called Ricardo Esagio, who sticks around for a couple of seasons. You sell him for Watford for a chunk of change, and that's it. And then he goes to Leicester, and now he's out in the Middle East and doing okay for himself there. Next season, you got he spent 108 million, but you brought in 124 million, bringing in the likes of Nainggolan from Inter Milan for 9.5 million pounds. The Belgian stuck around for at least a couple seasons before packing it in after a loan spell of Aldo. He only played him a couple of games, so that's a bit of a shame to see Nainggolan just fizzle out just like that. Ed Oates was brought in from Crystal Palace. He's a regen. You sold him for £2.3 million. A bit part player for you guys. Diego Alaves was brought in. Simon Kajar was brought in from Sevilla. He's a decent defender. You had him for couple seasons, sold him to Anderlecht. He packed it in at Copenhagen out in his homeland of Denmark. Joe Day was he a goalkeeper, I think. Christian Fastnacht. Kawando Asoma was brought in. Tyson as well. Felipe was there, brought in for 28 million. Big signing. And Carlos Salcedo from Tigres out in Mexico. Players going out though. Ryan Bennett to Leicester for £5 million. Helder Costa went to Leeds for £15 million. He's still available. He's Angolan. I didn't know that. Leeds had him, sold him to Everton, who sold him to Lille. He went to this team out in the second Ligue 2. And he did okay for himself, and he's now free to do whoever he wants. Ruben Neves went to Real Madrid for £79 million. He's still there today, doing absolute bits. Look at that. 7.31 average. Fantastic player for Wolves and also for Real Madrid. So he's there. Matt Doherty went out on loan to Inter Milan. He's still in the game as a fitness coach. Inter Milan. Then he went to Inter Milan on a permanent deal, £23.5 million. Napoli then gobbled him up, and then Schalke, and then ended up at Duisburg in the Zweite Bundesliga, and only just packed it in a couple of seasons ago. Anyone else going out? Ricardo Escargo went to Watford. Leo Bonatti went to Schalke. He had okay seasons in there. FC Köln, then Köln in the Dritte Bundesliga. So he plummeted down the divisions fast. Besides that, a couple of other little players getting themselves moves. Next season, you made £86 million, bringing in £77 million. Tahiti Chong comes in from Manchester United. He's now at West Ham. You have him for a good portion of seasons. He's taking a little bit of a hit. Everton take him on off your hands for £16.25 million. He does get a couple caps for the Dutchlands, but not that many. James Taverner as well comes in from Rangers. Harry Winks from Spurs. He's now at Celtic. You sell him for a little bit of a loss, but ultimately he proves to be a royal servant. Liam Higgins as well comes in. He's a Welsh international, now at Ipswich, who are back in the Championship where they belong. You take a massive hit on that, though. Ipswich absolutely robbing you blind. Players going out, Mac Doherty, we kind of saw that already. Daniel Podence went to... where did he go? He went to Napoli for 30 million. You pick him up for 16.5. Swansea gobbled him up, and he's still there technically to this day. Elsewhere, Patrick Cutrone went to Fiorentina. Obviously, never really settled down at Wolves. Came and he went really in a bit of a squib. Who else went? Rafa Mir went to Basel out in Swiss. Swiss football still there today, though, doing okay. Not really. He's actually been more decent recently than he was initially. So the older he gets, the better he gets. Jan Martino went to CSK Moscow. A lot of loans out this season. Roman Sass went to Angers. Next season, Jerome Kakukabu comes in from Newell's Old Boys. Guga from Spurs for £49 million. Svea Ingi Ingerson comes in from PAOK. And Rok Vodicec from Genoa. Meanwhile, players going out, £52 million worth of talent. James Taverner to Celtic. Conor Cody to Celtic as well. They spent £20 million on talent from us. From you guys, should I say. Kwando Asamoah from Galatasaray, £5.5 million. And Bruno Matey Boy. Moving on to next season. You spent £15 million on Kenny Ichinacio. Kieran Trippier finally comes home from Brescia. He's now Rotherham under-23's manager. He has one season at Wolves. You sent for Bologna. He likes to travel, doesn't he? And he ended up getting himself 16 caps. Just 16 caps for England. That's a bit of a shame. Mikolenko coming in from Kiev. Badidov from Fenerbahce as well. Players going out. Willy Bowley goes to Newcastle. Still in the game as an under-23 assistant manager for West Ham. Bushy Mönchengladbach chip in on him as well for £1.2 million from Newcastle, who take a bit of a loss. Diego Jota goes to PSG. He's now at Atletico Madrid and still valued quite highly. So you make a chunk of change on him. PSG make a chunk of change on him as well. He scores 24 goals, 22 goals, 24 goals out in La Liga. Doing very, very well for Atletico Madrid. So they pick up a very good player. Ruben Vinagre goes to Lille for £5.25 million. Still in the game, and he's still there, 30 years of age. As well. Okay, sort of player. No caps for Portugal. That's a bit of a come down. Svinga Ingi Ingerson only last season goes to Trabzonspor with Sorleth and co. Besides that, no one else stands out. Next up, Reece Nielsen comes in for £31.5 million. Ricky Van Drongelen comes out from China. Is that right? Is he coming out from China? Yeah, for £11 million. You're selling for half this face value to Porto. It's not really been a great season for him. Nikola Katic come from China as well, £24 million. Carlo Bartolic, Jando Fuchs as well. Next up, players going out, £81 million worth of talent leaving your doors. Kukukaku, Trippier goes as well. Leonardo Campana, is that goalkeeper? Striker is now at Bayer Leverkusen, 28 years of age. You're buying for next to now, I don't know. Selling for 5.25. He does okay at the Bundesliga, and he's still chipping in with goals. So Campaigner, one for the future. Morgan Gibbs-White goes to Brighton for £16.25 million. Carlos Salcedo goes to Kivas out in Mexico. And Vitaly Machichenko, it's just a season or so, and he goes to Watford. Next season, £95 million spent, bringing in Ifan Pando from Chelsea. Lee Hill comes in on a free as well. He's a regen. He's even gone out the doors to Ipswich already. Allen comes in from Napoli. Gustavo Asasheno as well, coming in from Sporting Gijón. Dan James comes in on loan. He's now at Benfica. He's actually wanted by Rovers, coming in there with a cheeky little bid maybe. So what happened to Dan James? Okay, so not too long after you guys had him on loan, he went to thingy. Tom Davis comes in from Celtic. A lot of business between Celtic and Wolves. £22.5 million. You're selling for 15, so you kind of wipe your face a little bit with him, taking a little bit of a loss. Casemiro, decent player from Real Madrid. Then sold to Ajax for less than a season later. Any other ones? Alan from Thingamajig. Players going out. Vicky van Drongen goes to Porto. Niko Katic to Sampdoria. Alexander Bandia to Shakir. Jando Fuchs as well. Leandro de Dongadanka goes to Lazio. Tahiti Chong to Everton. And that's it. Moving on to the next season, 2026-27. There's a bit of a couple of transfers. Rolando Friera comes in. Thiago Arriero from Benfica and Giulio Uzera coming out of the Middle East. Players going out. Johnny goes to Swansea for £4.8 million. You've had him for a good bunch of time, spending £17.5 million on him. He's now at Montpellier as well. Next up, Casemiro goes. Jack Scott goes to Leicester. And Chem Campbell goes to Montreal Impact for £2 million. So, yeah, a bit of a loss on money. Next up, 27, this is the penultimate season. Angie Borges comes in from Everton. Tanguy Ndembele comes in on loan. Luke Thompson from Forest for 4.8. Cilio Andre is a regen Brazilian hotshot defender, actually. And Anderson Jones comes in from Fulham, another regen sounding player, right back. He's an England international, so he could be a very, very decent option there. Players going out. Harry Winks goes to Celtic. Chad Phillip as well to Borough. Amongst a couple of other little players. Next up, this final season, Jan Wolters comes in on a free. Jose Jimenez goes to Atletico Madrid, or comes in from Atletico Madrid. Nicholas Ruiz from Sunderland. James Madison for £19.25 million. He spent £88 million here. Tayson as well. Players going out, Carlos Cuesta to Huddersfield. Ed Oates, Tom Davies and Gabriel Asamoah to the under thingamajigs. But that is it. How about your best 11s? Let's take a little look. This is your overall best 11. Ed Oates is number one. Just 68 games for Wolves. Then you have Guga, Luis Felipe and Pandu and Johnny, Diego Jota, Don Donecker, Harry Wilson and Reece Nelson, with Iñárritu and Jimenez up top. Jimenez scored 78 goals in 189 games. Jota 56 goals, 59 goals for Iñárritu. On the bench, any other ones stand out? Leonardo Campana, not too shabby. But let's go back, roll back the years then. Start with the 2019-2020 season. Real Patricio between the sticks with a 7.02 average. Very good season this for Wolves. Jimenez 20 goals, Jota 18, Pondence with 10 goals as well. 9 goals on the bench for Traore. Where did he end up? He's now at Real Sociedad. He did go to PAOK for £16 million. Valencia picked him up. What was his international outlook? He got 44 caps for Mali, 38 goals. I'm sure he's still in the team right now. Just being nosy. Adama Traore, there he is. 33 years of age. So yeah, decent little player. Has he still got the pace? 14 pace. Stamina, he hasn't lost that just. He's still got a little bit of stamina left. Who else are we interested in? Jimenez, did we ever see him? What his deal was? Career stats. Went on a free to Valencia. That's a shame. John Rudy, Don Donecker. Connor Cody, what happened to you? Oh, we don't know. Matt Doherty, what happened to you? Oh yeah, we saw that one. Let's go on to the next season then, shall we? 2020-2021, the likes of Patricio remain between the sticks. Don Donaker in there as midfield. João Martino just for 26 games, 6.75 average. Double digits from Tayson and Jimenez, with the goal scorers this season. Traore as well at right back of some sort. Next season, we have Patricio remains between the sticks. James Taverner at right back. Traore onto the right side of midfield. Double digits from Jota and Jimenez, with the likes of Campana getting 4 goals from the bench. Willy Bolly as well on the bench as well. Next season, Rui Patricio again, 37 appearances for the Portuguese fella. Adam Traore as well, chipping in with 6.77 average. Double digits, Jota and Jimenez once again. Leonardo Campana with 13 goals and 29 appearances. He makes the bench. Next up, Kenny Iñárritu with 13 goals, Jimenez with 14. Patricio remains between the sticks. Don Donaker and Winks in midfield alongside others. Next season, Ed Oates comes in, takes over the reins. 29 goals for him. 29 games, for Ed Oates. Nielsen, Wilson, Iñárritu, all double digits, all above 12 goals this season. Next season, Kenny Iñárritu with 11 goals. This is 9 for Reece Nelson, who's played as a striker. Ed Oates is no longer in the team. He's actually on the bench. Alti Bayandia comes in and becomes the number 1 goal scorer. Tom Davis as well. Into the 2026-27 season, it is Uzuza is the number 1 goalkeeper. Tom Davis in the middle of the field. No double digits in the starting 11. Only Kelechi Iheanacho on the bench with 11 goals. Reece Nelson gets 9 again. Harry Wilson also with 9. 27-28 season. Very, very low goals. Reece Nelson gets himself 10 this season. Uza remains between sticks. Oates gets 17 goals as well, and that's why he is in the lineup, the main team. And into the final season, double digits from Ajorin. Ichinashio got himself 3 this season, 7 goals from James Maddison, 8 goals from Harry Wilson, Jan Walters between the sticks. Quick look at the records then, their best records. Stevie Ball still remains as top goal scorer overall, but who was the main man at this in total? Well, 20 goals was the record to be beaten in the past 10 seasons, and that is by Raul Jimenez. Next up, the most assists by any one season was 18, also by João Moutinho, who you cannot click on anything. Tyson also cannot click. Some of the other boys you can click. Highest average rating. This will be interesting. Tyson with a 7.30 average is your man to beat. And a quick overview of everything else. Highest transfer fee paid, £49 million for Guga from Tottenham. Highest transfer fee received, £78.7 million from Neves to Real Madrid. Everything else there, you want to pause the screen and take a look at it yourself. But that is that. So Wolves are comfortably a Premier League side, sitting at mid-table. They have Simone Inzaghi leading the way as manager. The future is okay, so the finances are okay. Where are they going to be? Are they going to be anywhere near the top 6 ever again? I don't know. I think they might be on the downward slump, despite what the graph says. They've been steady Eddie, chipping away, trying to get back up there again, but I just fear the worst for Wolves. A lot of the character has gone, a lot of the Portuguese flair, and I don't believe in this new influence of Simone Inzaghi. But anyway, that's just my opinion. We'll never find out anyway. Tomorrow, we break into the top 5, and it'll be Manchester United. Where are they in 10 years' time? Will they be Premier League winners? Will they be Champions League winners? Well, in fact, let's have a quick look at the competitions. Did you guys win any of this? Euro Cup runners-up? Yeah, that was way back when. Anyway, I'm out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.